Good day to you. How are you doing? Man, it has been a minute, to say the least. Roger Gruis Games Unlimited, of course. And welcome to the very well-lit, colorful Dungeon Crusade studio room. It is really nice to be back with you, especially in this room. I think it's kind of Crusader cozy, if you will. And man, where do I start here, guys? So this first half here, quick introduction, just to chat with you, tell you a few things. Then we're gonna spin the camera. We're gonna bring the camera closer, and we're going to turn the house lights on and all that. But you know what? I kind of like it like this. I like the lights, and you see, I did a wide shot for the video so you could see how nicely everything came out. First and foremost, before we get on any further, I hope you're doing good. Truly, I hope you're staying safe, healthy, enjoying any games you may be playing. And wow, yeah, Dungeon Crusade shipped out. Still, I think there's a little bit more to do, so I want to tell you from the heart, thank you, truly, for your friendship, your excitement, your support. And like I've said, we have a lot of exciting stuff coming in 2024. And so I hope you're doing good. I welcome you. I hope you're enjoying this. Now, let me tell you what it feels like. You know me, I speak from the heart. We have something scripted when we start the other part, but it feels like I'm at a 70s Kiss concert, which wouldn't be bad, but mixed with an awesome game store, mixed with like a rave in New York on a Friday night, if that makes sense. I love it in here. It was, speaking about this room, of course, if you've watched the channel, this is completely different. I wanted to do something for you guys. I wanted to give you a very awesome studio room. Side note, I got a Bluetooth mic. It wasn't working. I have to work on that. So we have a new camera, of course, new lighting. All of the lights you're going to see in a moment when we turn on the house lights, so to speak, is daylight lighting. We're going to touch on that and why you should have daylight lighting for all of your board game needs. But guys, it was like before Christmas, wasn't it? Like beginning of December, we were working on this. It was a true transformation of this room. The painting, the floor, the lights, just everything in here. It was a tremendous project. Oh, and this big brick wall thing in the back. This took forever to do, but I think it looks really nice. And again, it's to give you just better videos and new format. Now this video here, we're just gonna chat. You know, I just want to schmooze with you. I've been chatting with you, but the new format, real quick to the point. No like long drawn out videos and all that. I just quick, whatever we're going to talk about, in and out, and that's exciting. Honestly, guys, I've been busy with everything in life. So, and I don't want to take up your time. So, but this is a special video, right? Because we're christening or whatever, however, the new studio room, and I love it in here. It's fun to play board games in this room. So, again, I wanted to pull the camera back and let you see. There's more over here, like the more studio side. I play guitar, I do music, I record, write music. And now, excuse me, now that this is done, it's real convenient to shoot the videos. I can do my music over here. I'm going to be sharing some like guitar playing and song construction. It's going to be a really fun year, and I'm glad that you're here. And I got to get my Bluetooth mic working so it's not so far away sounding. But just thank you. And I don't know, there's one last thing. We're going to talk a lot when we're going to turn on the house lights and that, but you know, I wanted to tell you, really thank you for your support with the game, with the Avalon Adventure board game and Dungeon Crusade. I'm going to say something from the heart. I think you guys know me. I just say it like it is, and if someone doesn't like it, I'm sorry. Oh well. Doing a game like this, and I'm talking to you guys and girls out there who are designers, who have a dream to do something, who want to do something, you know, whatever it is, music, a video game, a board game, art, whatever. This game was something I was passionate about. And being a creator, and I think any creator should feel this way, it's about doing something for people, something you're passionate about. But a creator, designer, however you want to say it, it's about giving people a unique experience and something creative and something immersive, something different in life. I will never say, this is the greatest dungeon crawl game ever made. I will never say that. But what I will say, and I'll stick to my guns, is this was something that was just different. It was a very epic, grandiose game to give people that. You know, it's a long game. And so is Twilight Imperium. That's a huge, big game. There's other games like that. This is just another big, huge footprint game. It's very grandiose, it's epic. That's what I wanted to do. I stuck to my guns, but I didn't compromise. Because for the people who are enjoying it and the people who are curious about it, that's what I wanted to do. An open world dungeon crawl board game that just was different for you and something for you to enjoy. And I say that to young designers out there, or even if you're older, whoever, if you have something, do it. Don't let anyone stop you. You only go around once. I've said this so many times throughout life. You only go around once. Do what's in your heart, be passionate about it. More than likely you're gonna meet people who will join and you build it together. Don't let anyone or anything stop you, my friends. And if you need help with something, let me know, I'll promote it. I'll do whatever I can. All right, I think I'm gonna shut up now. We're gonna turn on the house lights, but again, I welcome you. I hope you enjoy this. We're gonna chat about some stuff, and thank you for being here. All right, hold on a second. We're gonna hit the house lights, turn the camera or bring it closer, and let's talk Dungeon Crusade and a bunch of other stuff. I'll see you in a second. Okay, and I am back. And again, I want to welcome you to the new studio room, and I hope you are digging this. And I want to say, I hope you like that little intro. I just wanted to chat with you guys. And sorry about the audio, that I have this Bluetooth microphone and it just wasn't working with this phone, so I have to work on that. But I think right now the audio is much, much better. So I hope you just liked hanging out with me for a few there, chatting and taking kind of like the big look at the studio room. And so we're going to talk about a few things here. I'm going to try to keep it quick for you. Again, we're going to have a new format moving forward, but this is just kind of like hang loose, chat, schmooze, that kind of thing. So I welcome you again. And just touching on this room again, this was just a tremendous amount of work to get this thing done. I hope you guys like it. Just that brick wall again, that thing was, it's like this material, but I don't know, it was a lot to put up, but I think it looks very nice with the wood floor texture on there and the walls. I think that's called Torchlight Orange. So I hope you like it. I might move this. This is some of my guitar stuff pedals and one of my amps there. So I might move that out. So we'll tweak it as we go. So, but I hope you enjoyed all of that. And I don't want to make this whole video about that, but I thought, you know, when I was coming up with the concept of this room, notice I'm sure you have some of these board games in back. So I just thought we're not going to, this video isn't about that. Maybe we'll do a video in the future about, you know, some of the board games I have. But of course, on the top, Warhammer Quest 95. There's Dungeon Quest and my multiple copies of Dungeon Quest, 3rd and 4th edition. Of course, Hero Quest. And, you know, those had a lot to do with the creation of Dungeon Crusade, but a lot of PC RPGs that I played back in the late 80s, early 90s that was inspiration in creating the game. And just a few others there, like Defenders of the Realm. I've been wanting to get that to the table for like 2 years now. I know Daniel over at the Dungeon Dive just, I think, did a big video series on that. Of course, Zombie Side. I love zombies and survival games. And Descents down there. Of course, Space Hulk. That's 4th edition. So there you go. That's one to take a look at some of the games in my collection. And then this leads us to, I'm going to come over here real quick and set you down and let you know something, that we're finally moving into the phase of getting some replacement parts out to a few people. I want to thank you for your patience and understanding. It took a while to get everything, but within the next few weeks, I've already started messaging, emailing a few people. We'll get you the parts you need. Thank you for that. And also kind of like an announcement, because this took a while, that if you're looking for a copy of the game or add-ons, we don't have that much, but we have some. We partnered with Pledge Manager again. Check for the link in the description. There's the Pledge Manager Dungeon Crusade shop, or it's the Dungeon Crusade Pledge Manager shop. It's always a pleasure to partner with them. So there you go. You can order a copy of the game or any add-ons that you would like, and then we have the Groovis Games Unlimited eBay store. There's a link for that. And so either way, if you're looking for something, please let us know and we'll get something out to you right away. But first and foremost, for my fellow Crusaders, thank you again. I'm going to be getting that stuff out to you within the next few weeks. Okay, so I'm going to pull the camera back and let's chat about a few other things. This is something else I wanted to touch on briefly, and I've talked about this over the years. It's about daylight lighting. Now I have the big grid lighting in the back here, and it's called daylight lighting. And I just wanted to make mention of this because I think a lot of people check this video out. Now our house light here, I replaced everything with daylight lighting, so we're going to turn that on. But notice in daylight lighting how attractive everything looks. And daylight lighting is supposed to be like sunlight. If you're out like on a very bright day, all of your games, Zombicide, Defenders of the Realm, Descent, whatever, if you're using that soft white light, you know, it's kind of like that yellow orangish tint. It's like, I think it's like 3000 K, so that's for Kelvin. If you switch to daylight lighting, your games will look as they should, I guess you could say. That it's just very attractive. It just makes the colors pop, and I highly recommend to switch to daylight lighting. You know, not just for Dungeon Crusade, but all your board games and all that. So I did want to make mention that I did a comparison. Maybe we'll do one of those videos coming up, but it's literally a night and day difference if you're using just regular light bulbs to daylight lighting and that. So I just wanted to touch on that. So check out daylight lighting and you will see a massive difference. Again, I hope you're enjoying hanging out here, just chatting about a few things. It's really nice to be back on camera with you, talking Dungeon Crusade, and I do have a lot of stuff planned in 2024. But consulting my notes over here, I wanted to make mention, and again, I want to thank you for all your kind words that the revised Dungeon Crusade rulebook. Ilpo, my very brilliant and amazing and charming friend from Finland, he was the editor on this, and there has been so many nice things being said about it. It's just more quick to the point, explaining the rules. People said it's I guess mentally easier to digest. It's very just quick to the point, better diagrams. It's just laid out better. I want to thank you for that we worked very hard on this. And you know, I want to do whatever I can for you. So there, oh yeah, new solo Crusader mode is in the game. There's a bunch of variants. Make sure to check the back. There's like a ton of variants that are in the game, like right here with using the expert and heroic monster difficulty decks. And so I just want to say thank you so much for your kind words on that. Ilpo, you rock, and we'll definitely be working together on other stuff. So thank you. It's been getting excellent reviews. So we're glad you're enjoying that. The other thing, oh, and then your scalable difficulty reference card. Make sure you are using that in the game for your level 1 and your level 2 heroes. Make sure you use that. It really balanced the game tremendously for your level 1 and level 2 heroes. So check out your scalable difficulty reference card. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down into the dungeon because my very good friend Alistair, who is such a kind guy, and we've been chatting, I want to talk to you just real briefly about the chambers in all the dungeons. So we're going to move the camera down, and let me just say something real quick about that. See you in a second. Okay, and this is just something that some people had said, and I thought this was the great opportunity, since we're just hanging out, chatting, and kind of schmoozing, to bring this up. Alistair had brought up, just so you know, champion monsters reside in the chambers of the dungeon while the minions and guardians traverse on the patrol route system throughout the corridors and hallways of the dungeon. But if you notice, the dungeon has these 4 squares. Simply put, this is considered one square. You can rally up to 3 heroes. Remember, you can rally heroes together to create a party. It's one of the big keys of Dungeon Crusade. And when you enter, don't think of these as spaces. This is one giant space, okay? And you're, of course, adjacent to the champion monster. So I just wanted to clear that up for anyone. So even though there's dungeon tiles there, it looks like it's just one big room, okay? So one space in chambers, okay? Pull the camera back and let's chat about a few other things. Okay, and this is one of the first videos in the new format that will be coming up that I want to do for you. And it's about the scenario system in the game. You know, I put a lot of thoughts and creativity into this for you so you could tweak about every aspect of the game you could. You know, I always said there's no really wrong way to play Dungeon Crusade. You know, I know Ilpo, we're just talking about Ilpo. He's got a ton of different homebrew rules and variants that he uses, and I encourage that. But just briefly, and I bring this up because some people said, well, I don't want to play with 6 heroes, I want to play with 3 heroes, I want to play with 4 heroes. Yes, you can do that. And if you have the expansion, you can play Mega Dungeon Crusade with 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12 heroes. Everything you can scale that to play Mega Dungeon Crusade. And I'm going to do a playthrough of that this coming year. I promise I want to do this because I think it'll be a lot of fun. But I'm going to save it for the video we have coming up. And this looks very complex, guys. It's not. Basically, think of these as slider switches, like in a PC RPG dungeon crawl game. You can adjust all the difficulties of all these different options in the game with the raid difficulty and the Guardian spawn track and Guardians per quest table. So I just want to make mention, if you want to play with less heroes, absolutely you can. And you can adjust this to make it as easy and difficult as you want. You know, this is like novice difficulty, and then easy, normal, hard, expert, and then master difficulty. So mix and match, there's 3 different game modes. And that's so we're going to be doing a whole in-depth thing on this, and we'll do some examples. So I just wanted to say that, yes, you could play with less than 6 heroes. But remember, there's a solo crusader mode where you just use 1 hero, and there's the new mercenary camp. I should have had that board with me. But there's the new mercenary camp where you can hire mercenaries. So this is coming up on the channel in the new format. So we will be chatting about the scenario system. But hopefully that'll get you going where, you know, you can adjust everything in the game to your liking. Okay, this is probably, maybe I should have started off the video with this, but this is something that I've chatted with a very nice gentleman named Jeffrey. And Jeffrey had got the game, and I think just the way that I explained this, it really clicked for him, and it clicked for other people I shared it with. So that's why I want to do this little section right here and kind of what I said to Jeffrey. And maybe if you're thinking about getting the game or unsure of it, I think what I'm about to say is going to click with you, and you kind of get what Dungeon Crusade is or what I was out to do with it. Okay, let's start with this. There's 5 phases, as you may know, in a turn. There's the upkeep phase, there's the encounter phase, the guardian phase, hero phase, monster phase, and it goes back to the top of a turn. Very easy. And when I designed those phases, I wanted always something new to be happening. You know, I wanted this game to fire on all cylinders. So in each of the phases, something's always happening. But because Dungeon Crusade is an open world game, I want you to remember something about this game. You have total freedom to do whatever you want. There's nothing linear about it. And I think some people that play the game, I don't mean this bad at all. You know, we play a lot of games like up there, like the Dungeons and Dragons adventure board game or Warhammer Quest or games where you flip tiles. And I love those. I absolutely love those games, always will. But it's very linear. One thing when you're approaching Dungeon Crusade is just remember, you have freedom to go anywhere and do anything. So we have another little player aid card that says all the actions a heroes can do. And it's in the revised rulebook, a real nice chart that actually Ilpo thought of, and it's just brilliant. So in the hero phase, you can do all these different things, list, you know, free action, or, you know, what does cost an action, what doesn't. But what I'm about to say is what really hit it home for Jeffrey and other people, okay? When you're in the upkeep phase, the very top of a turn, you're going to have your initiative tokens. So we're playing with 6 heroes here, so you'll have initiative tokens 1 through 6, all right? So this is how I've said it before, how I think of it. Say we're in game right now. We're going to do a little demo here. Think of the upkeep phase of like on the next episode of Dungeon Crusade. I know it sounds maybe kind of corny, but follow me on this. What you do is you're going to survey the dungeon. You have 6 heroes, right? What do you want to accomplish for this turn? What are your goals? Okay, so, and just, you can place the initiative tokens anywhere. Just for ease of what we're talking about, I set the initiative tokens down in sequence, but you can place them anywhere. So what I mean is this. So we're in the upkeep phase and thinking, okay, we got some stuff we want to accomplish. Well, what do we want to do? Well, over here we have Banevic the Guardian. That's one of the, that's like a boss-like creature in the game. There's 8 Guardians in the game. So what I wanted to do is create a Guardian hunting party. And so I took Sir Brennus, Enwyn, and Zeke, our wizard, and I, through turns, we're kind of speeding it up. I have them tracking down Banevic. So it's like these 3 party of heroes who are my Guardian hunting party. So that's one aspect that's coming up on this turn. And then I have my rogue here, Palum. Well, I want to try to pop open treasure chests. So there's always 10 treasure chests in the dungeon. It's all random. So I have her coming down here into the Well of Eternity quadrant, and she's going to open a treasure chest. And right here is the treasure chest deck, the ultimate in risk and reward. You never know what's going to be in a treasure chest. So while those heroes are doing that, I'm going to have her doing this. And finally, we have Faith and Mahaliak, Barbarian or Cleric. Well, way up here in the spider lair, there's a quest item. And remember, champion monsters reside in the chambers of the dungeon. And they're safeguarding quest items. But everything is randomized in this game. Everything is random. Every time you play, you'll never see the same game twice. So I have these 2 heroes searching for this quest item in the spider lair. So what I just said, think of it like this, and this is the way I said it to Jeffrey, kind of like on the next episode of Dungeon Crusade, or the next turn of Dungeon Crusade, will our heroes take down Banevic? What will happen there? Meanwhile, what's going to happen with Palum when she opens the chest? Will it be a trap chest, or will she find treasure? And finally, what will happen up in the spider lair with Mahaliak and Faith as they search for a quest item? Stay tuned for this next episode of Dungeon Crusade. Do you see what I mean? And I'm not being glowy about this, but that's the beauty and what I wanted to do with Dungeon Crusade, is there's always something happening on the next episode of Dungeon Crusade, every turn. And depending what happens in the encounter phase, there could be things that could happen there. It's like this emergent narrative. You don't know what the monsters are going to do because they move on the patrol rat system. It's like a big machine. That to me, what I just said, is what I want people to know about Dungeon Crusade. You have freedom. It's an open world. Create these like little things for the next episode of Dungeon Crusade. That's what it is. You're not really going through a path. I mean, you could through a dungeon. It's an open world for you to explore and do what you want. That, my friends, is the beauty of Dungeon Crusade, and any kind of game to me that does that. So I'm huge in the MMORPGs, and so I think definitely that was an inspiration to bring to Dungeon Crusade. All right, we're going to talk about one more thing. We're going to wrap it up. Special abilities. So give me a second. Okay, we're over here in the village. There's the village board, and we're going to be getting the special abilities from the academy. So we're going to get these. I'm going to bring them over here, and I'm going to point you down here. And this is another thing, if you're new to the game or wondering, this is another big point about the game. There's just so much I could tell you right now, and hopefully with our new format coming up, you're going to see that. There's 12 heroes in the game. There's 13 if you count Albus, your fetch hound, who can run back to the village to get you supplies, gear, what have you. But there's 12 heroes, and each hero has 3 special abilities that can be leveled up to level 3. What I want to point out is, and I don't think it's a spoiler, but this is one thing I want you to keep in mind about playing this. And this right here is directly, I will tell you, I was inspired by MMORPGs in some of these special abilities. Let's take this example right here. Okay, remember with Banevic. This is a really good strategy, and again, hopefully it's not a spoiler. But let's say we had our bard hero, Matari, and she was in here, not even part of the group, not rallied. Let's just say she was, standing there. This is something I want you to remember when you're playing. For example, enchanting hymn. why this is, and there's a lot of heroes who have this. There's different types of special abilities they have, but this one in particular, this buffs heroes' warfare values. So my point is, if we take a look at this, I mean, I'll just summarize it for you. When she casts Enchanting Hymn, let's say that you put initiative token 1 on her. She's going to cast this. What happens is, for each hero in the hero phase within, I think it's a 6-space radius, their warfare values, these are of course the warfare dice. You know, there's 6 different warfare types. Kind of put the camera there so you can kind of see it, see them there. She's going to buff that, so you could add +3 to all the warfare rolls in the hero phase. So if you kind of think of it in terms of an MMORPG, you have your bard here. She casts this, and let's say that's all she's going to do this turn. Well, this is staying active. These heroes are going to be buffed when they roll their warfare dice. These are the chaos warfare dice. So whatever you roll, so we rolled a 9 there. 9 plus 3 with Enchanting Hymn, that turns that into a 12. That's kind of one of the big strategies that I've told people, and they're like, oh, okay, now I get it. I see, how to use these. And again, if you've played MMORPGs, you're probably nodding your head right now like that's, when you fight a boss, like in World of Warcraft or something, you have these people who are buffing different things. That's exactly how I got that from, and that's how you can use this. And plus, she has a bunch of other ones. Twisted Melody. I think, does she have Alluring Charm? Or no, that's the other one. There's so many different. Oh yeah, no, she does have Alluring Charm. So there's a bunch of them. There's this one right here, Consecrate Ground. This is our Paladin, Rowan Carrick. He has the same kind of thing. He can consecrate ground, and it will buff heroes. And there's special abilities that will debuff monsters. So that's something to take away when you're playing with Dungeon Crusade. Remember, these type of special abilities that buff up your warfare values. And with those expert and heroic monster difficulty decks, it's very tough. Even normal difficulty monsters are hard. So you got to think like that when you play Dungeon Crusade. And of course, mining and crafting and making power gems that plug into certain weapons and gear. So that's what I wanted to tell you about special abilities, but we'll have a video on that. But I did want to touch on that in our chat and schmooze video. Okay, I'm going to pull the camera back. We're going to wrap it up, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, and this is the end of our hang loose and chat and schmooze video. I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with me for a bit, and some of the things I had to say. But most of all, I hope that I kind of just helped you out with the game with what I said. Those were some of the big things that people had asked about, and I hope it helped you out. And I hope you enjoy the look of the new Dungeon Crusade studio room. I am definitely going to fine tune some stuff. I'm going to get that thing out of here. Not out of here, I'm just going to move it so it's just more focused on the games and all that kind of stuff. So guys, thank you again. Thank you so much for your friendship. Truly, thank you for your friendship and your support. I love you guys, and we have a lot planned for the new year for Dungeon Crusade. The new game I've been working on, much smaller game. We're going to talk about that. Chapter 1, Adventures in the Forgotten Runes, and of course, the expansion for Book 1, Genesis of Evil. I hope everyone has a great day. Happy gaming. Stay safe. And give me a little time, and we'll get our next video out, and it'll be a surprise what the new one's about. But it's going to be following the new format. All right, I'll have a great day, and I'm going to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.